Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're embarking on, well, a bit of a different kind of deep dive. We're focusing on just one source.
Oh yeah, what we got?
It's an Amazon product page. Super specific, but actually really dense with information that, millions of people look at every day.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Which product?
We are cracking open the page for the Logitech C920x HD Pro webcam.
Ah, the C920x. A classic.
And think about it, an Amazon page, it's more than just a buy now button, isn't it?
Definitely. It's a whole ecosystem of information.
You've got the manufacturer's shiny pitch right up top.
Yeah.
Then the cold, hard technical specs.
The numbers bit.
Yeah, and then there's the gold mine, or maybe the minefield, the customer reviews, tens of thousands of them.
That collective wisdom, or sometimes, collective confusion, as you said.
Plus pricing, return policies, those protection plan things. It can be, well, a lot if you're just trying to figure out, is this the right webcam for me?
We really can.
Oh.
Overwhelming sometimes.
So, our mission today, our deep dive objective, is to basically be your guides through that jungle.
Okay.
We'll cut through the noise, pull out the really crucial bits. The goal is you walk away knowing what this Logitech C920x is, what Logitech claims it does.
And crucially.
And maybe most importantly, what the actual users, the people who bought it, really think about it.
Yeah, that sounds incredibly useful. I mean, especially now.
Right.
Virtual calls, work meetings, just catching up with family. It's all so central. These tools, like webcams, they really matter now.
They're not just little accessories anymore.
Exactly. It's your window to the world, often. But wading through product descriptions, they can be, let's say, optimistic.
Yeah, that's one word for it.
So learning how to quickly pull out the real info, especially from a source like Amazon that bundles in all that user feedback, that's a huge advantage. It helps you make a smart call on popular tech like this C920X.
Okay, let's get into it then. Let's unpack this page. First up, the basic identity.
The name on the tin.
Logitech C920x HD Pro webcam. And right away, the headline features they're pushing are full HD 1080p video, 30 frames per second, clear audio, and HD light correction.
That's the elevator pitch right there.
Pretty much. That's the promise.
Okay, so if we dig a bit deeper into the about this item section and the tech specs further down.
What do we find?
Well, for video, they get specific. Full HD 1080p, yes, but for both video calling and recording. And at that 30 frames per second, or FPS.
Which means, in plain English,
it means the video should be sharp, pretty detailed, and have a decent, vibrant color.
Okay.
They also mention a 5-element glass lens.
Glass, not plastic. That sounds better.
Generally, yeah. Glass lenses usually mean sharper images compared to, cheaper plastic ones you might find elsewhere.
Gotcha. Any other video specs jump out?
It uses a CMOS sensor, which is pretty standard for webcams, and it has a 78-degree field of view.
Okay, let's pause there. 78 degrees. For someone maybe not super techie, what does that mean practically? Like, how much does it see? Is it wide, narrow?
That's a really good question. It's something you often don't think about until you plug it in, right?
Exactly.
So 78 degrees is actually pretty standard for a personal webcam like this. It's wide enough to get your head and shoulders in comfortably.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of your background shows, but it's not like super wide angle showing your whole messy room.
Right, thankfully.
And it's not so narrow that it feels like a tight close-up. It's a good balance for just sitting at your desk, Keeps the focus mostly on you.
Makes sense. So video sounds pretty solid, at least on paper. What about the audio side? They mentioned clear audio.
Right. The page specifically says stereo audio with dual mics.
Dual mics. So 2 microphones.
Yeah, one on each side of the camera lens usually. The marketing spin is capturing the real you, aiming for natural sound.
Does having 2 mics actually help?
It can, potentially. It might give slightly better sort of spatial pickup, but honestly, for one person talking right at the camera, the main hope is clearer voice capture, maybe a bit less background noise picked up.
Okay. And the third big feature was lighting and focus.
HD lighting adjustment, premium autofocus, and automatic low light correction. Those are the claims.
Is there any specific tech name dropped for that?
Yeah. They mentioned Logitech's Right Light 2.
Right Light 2. Okay.
So that's supposed to handle the automatic light adjustments and the focusing. The promise is, it adapts smoothly if the light changes.
Like if the sun goes behind a cloud or something.
Exactly. Or if you're in a dimmer room. And the premium autofocus suggests it should keep you sharp, even if you shift around a bit. Quick and accurate focus.
Okay, so putting all that together, the manufacturer's story is basically look good, sound clear, and don't fiddle with settings.
Pretty much. make a strong impression easily.
They also mentioned something about fast, smooth uploads with less demand on your computer. What's that about?
That usually implies the camera itself is doing some of the video processing work, like compression, so your computer doesn't have to work as hard. Could mean smoother streaming or recording, especially in older machines.
And that auto-adjusting and dim light thing, that sounds really appealing. Nobody wants to be like a mysterious silhouette on a video call.
Totally.
Well,
or have weird shadows. That's a big selling point if it works well.
right. If it works well, we'll get to that.
Oh, and one more thing mentioned on the page, a little extra.
What's that?
It comes with a 3-month license for something called XSplit Webcam.
XSplit Webcam.
Yeah, it's software that lets you digitally mess with your background. Remove it, replace it, blur it, all without needing an actual green screen.
Oh, interesting. So for streamers, maybe? Or people who just want a cleaner look.
Exactly. Might not be for everyone, but if you do want that, it's a nice little bundled extra.
Okay. So that's the official story. That's what Logitech wants us to believe the C920X can do.
The polished version.
But you know us, we need to go deeper. What do the actual users think? The people who've shelled out their own cash.
Ah, the moment of truth. The customer reviews.
And we're talking a lot of reviews for this one. The page we looked at had over 20,000 global ratings.
Wow, that's a huge sample size.
And the average, a pretty impressive 4.6 out of 5 stars.
4.6 is very strong, especially with that many reviews.
Plus, it's got the Amazon's Choice badge and was listed as #3 in webcams, so clearly it's popular and generally well-regarded.
That's a pretty powerful market signal, yeah. So diving into that feedback, what are the main themes? Did you look at the AI summary?
We did, yeah. It helps make sense of thousands of comments.
But what's the good news?
The big positives seem to be around the core stuff.
Yeah.
Quality and ease of use. People really rave about the picture quality.
Like what specifically?
Phrases like crystal clear, amazing clarity, good color pop up again and again. Someone even mentioned their purple shirt looked actually purple on camera.
Ah, the ultimate test of color accuracy.
Apparently. And the other huge win, setup.
The plug-and-play dream.
Totally. Easy plug-and-play, just works, no software needed. Tons of comments like that. People love that they can just plug it in and go.
That's a massive plus for non-technical folks or just anyone who doesn't want hassle.
Definitely. And quite a few mention it being good value for money at its price point.
Okay, solid video, easy setup, good value. What about the audio? Does it live up to the clear audio claim?
Surprisingly, yes. According to many users, you'd think the focus would be all video, but lots of compliments for the mics.
Really? Like what?
Crystal clear microphones, picks up voice perfectly, even mentions of excellent noise cancellation. So it seems those dual mics might actually be doing a decent job for a lot of people.
Interesting. Good to hear the audio get some love too.
So yeah, a lot of glowing feedback on the fundamentals.
Okay, that sounds overwhelmingly positive, but there's always a but, isn't there? With 20,000 reviews, surely it's not all perfect.
You read my mind. Absolutely not. And this is where digging into the details of the reviews beyond just the star rating is so important.
Right. Where do the cracks start to show?
Well, remember those key features we talked about, the advanced ones, autofocus and low light performance.
Yeah, the right light 2 stuff. Premium autofocus, automatic low light correction.
Those seem to be the main areas where user experiences get, well, mixed, or even lean negative sometimes.
Oh, really? Tell me about the autofocus first. Premium autofocus sounds good.
It sounds good, yeah. But the AI summary actually showed significantly more negative comments about autofocus than positive ones.
Wow, okay. What kind of problems are people having?
Things like the camera just goes out of focus randomly, or the autofocus sometimes bugs out and they have to like unplug it and plug it back in to reset it.
That sounds annoying.
Yeah. Another described it as a little too fussy, like it hunts for focus when it doesn't need to. So while it clearly works okay for many, it seems inconsistent or frustrating for a noticeable chunk of users.
Which is kind of critical for a webcam, right? Its main job is keeping you in focus.
Exactly. And what about the low light performance, that other big promise?
Similar story, unfortunately. Despite the right light 2 tech, some users found the low light capability virtually non-existent. Or just finicky, meaning it doesn't really handle dim light well, or the results aren't great. Some even said the light correction it does apply makes things look too harsh or unnatural.
So kind of the opposite of the smooth automatic adjustment they advertise.
It seems that way for some users, yes.
Yeah.
It really highlights that difference between a listed feature and how it performs in every single real-world messy situation.
That's fascinating. So the tech sounds good, the overall rating is high, but these core functions, staying focused, handling dim light, aren't universally nailing it.
Precisely.
And
Anything else cropping up in the complaints?
there were some scattered mentions of compatibility issues, like it not playing nice with specific third-party software. Someone mentioned ManyCam.
Okay, niche maybe, but important if you use that software.
And a heads up for Mac users, the camera itself works, it's plug and play, but the page mentions Logitech's gaming software, G-Hub.
Yeah.
A reviewer pointed out that G-Hub doesn't run on macOS.
So Mac users might miss out on advanced settings or firmware updates available through that software. Good to know.
Yep. And a couple of mentions of bloatware, though that might be tied to optional software. Oh, and one review, definitely an outlier compared to the generally good audio comments, mentioned the mic cutting out sometimes or making a whirring sound.
Okay, probably not common, but worth noting as a potential, if rare, issue.
So if we try to synthesize all that feedback, what's the picture?
It seems like the C920X really delivers on the basics for most people. Good picture, clear sound in decent conditions, and incredibly easy setup. That likely explains the high rating and its popularity. But the areas where it seems to falter, or at least be inconsistent for a chunk of users, are precisely those smart features meant to handle tricky situations, autofocus reliability, and low light performance.
So great in ideal conditions, maybe a bit more of a gamble in variable ones.
That seems to be the takeaway from the user feedback, yeah.
Okay, let's shift to actually buying one. The page listed the price for a new one at $69.99.
Right. And it's always worth checking if Amazon lists other options too. The source page we saw had a used like new option sold directly by Amazon for about $53.60.
Buying used from Amazon directly can be a decent option sometimes.
Yeah, and buying directly from them, new or used, usually makes things like returns easier.
Speaking of which, the page made a point of saying free returns.
And that's actually a really important point here, isn't it?
How so?
Well, given that mixed feedback on things like autofocus or how it handles your specific room lighting, knowing you can easily send it back for free if it doesn't work well for your specific needs, that takes away some of the risk, right? It mitigates those potential downsides people mentioned in the reviews.
It's a good point. It's a safety net.
Definitely.
And then there are the inevitable add-ons, the protection plans.
Yes. Usually offered by Assyrian through Amazon.
What's the deal with those generally?
So the page typically shows options like a 2-year, 3-year plan. They're usually pretty cheap, like $7 or $9. Sometimes there's a monthly plan too, maybe $17 a month, that covers multiple gadgets.
And what do they actually cover? Is it just extending the warranty?
It's more than that, usually. They cover accidental damage drops, spills, cracked screens on portable stuff right from day one.
Okay, so stuff the manufacturer warranty wouldn't cover.
Exactly. Then they also cover mechanical or electrical breakdowns, but that part usually only kicks in after the manufacturer's warranty ends. The monthly plans are often the most comprehensive, covering more types of failures, plus the accidental damage. Usually excludes commercial use, though.
What are the supposed benefits?
The pitch is simplicity. No extra costs for repairs, parts, labor, shipping are covered. They promise 24/7 support and a quick claims process, often saying you'll get an e-gift card or replacement approved fast.
Is there any fine print to watch out for?
Well, you usually have to buy it with the product or very soon after.
Yeah.
And they won't cover problems that were already there before you bought the plan. But yeah, for peace of mind against accidents or failure after the warranty, some people like having it.
It's definitely another layer to consider in the purchase.
Yeah.
And digging through the page details, there was one other small thing. Sustainability.
Oh, yeah.
It mentioned the product is carbon neutral certified by SCS Global Services.
Oh, okay. So an environmental certification. That might matter to some buyers who factor that kind of thing into their decisions.
Could be. And just rounding out the absolute basics from the page, connection is USB.
Standard.
Comes with a 5-foot USB cable, user manual in the box. And you get free product support from Amazon if you run into trouble setting it up.
Got it. So the full package.
Okay, let's try and wrap this deep dive up. Key takeaways from scouring that Amazon page for the Logitech C920X.
Well, it looks like you're generally getting a webcam that offers solid, full HD video and pretty clear audio for its price. That plug-and-play simplicity is a huge win for a lot of users.
But caveats.
But potential buyers should definitely be aware of that user feedback regarding inconsistency, specifically around the autofocus performance and how well it actually handles low-light situations. It might be great, Or it might be a source of frustration depending on your specific setup and luck, it seems.
And you've got options new, potentially used via Amazon, the safety net of free returns, and optional extra protection plans if you want them.
Exactly. It paints a pretty full picture.
You know, what's really interesting about dissecting a source like this, just one Amazon page,
Yeah.
is how it mashes together that slick, polished marketing message from Logitech with the messy real-world experiences of thousands of actual users.
It really does. It's like a microcosm of how we get product info now, right? The official story versus the crowd story.
You have to weigh the claims against all that aggregated wisdom and all the aggregated complaints, too.
It definitely gives you a richer, more sort of multifaceted view than just reading the box, or maybe even one professional review.
Mm-hmm.
You see the strengths, yeah, but also those common pain points from people living with it daily.
So it leaves us with a final thought, a question for you, the listener, to maybe mull over.
Okay.
In this age where things like webcams feel so essential for work, for connecting with people, and you've got information coming from the company and from thousands of strangers online, how do you decide? Which bits of information carry the most weight for you when you're choosing tech like this? Is it the official specs, that glowing 5-star review, the really critical 1-star warning, or the overall summary?
That's a really good question to ponder. How do you filter that noise?
Exactly, something to think about. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Amazon page for the Logitech C920x.
Hope it was helpful.
We hope it helped cut through some of that noise and gave you a clearer picture. Until next time.